You've got a gun, got a big gun, got a gun, it's not a real one, and all you ever think about is running away, all you ever think about is trying to stay away from me.
Quite literally music to my ears. I am excited to be back. This is the LoudMouth MMA Podcast Network coming at you with another episode of the Not Safe for Work MMA show. And listen, you know who's, if you've listened to this show, if you haven't listened to the show, tread lightly. It is called the Not Safe for Work MMA show for a reason. Don't send me your letters. Don't get me your smoke signals, your telegrams, whatever it is you want to send me. Don't do it. It's the what is about to happen is in the name of the show, so don't complain. Definitely check out the other shows in the network. I'm not even going to go through all of them right now. We have a slew of new content coming out. So in addition to our normal content, which is like our breakdown show, you got a recap show whenever MMA gets going again, right? The breakdown and recap are kind of on hold for right now. But you have formerly called Between the Links. It is now going to be called Last One Standing. It'll be hosted by yours truly. We have a new panel on that show. We have a show now called Open Mat. We have a new show coming out called Sparring Sessions. MMA Yesterday is back in the mix here. A lot of new content, a lot of great shows. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. If you just so happen to be listening to us on SoundCloud or something, and that's not your preferred method, you can find us anywhere. Spotify, iTunes, the whole lot of it. So go find the podcast. Please subscribe. We're going to be pumping out as much content as humanly possible during this quarantine. We plan on right now, this is the beginning of the week, Sunday. We plan on moving forward, baby, and we're going to be pumping out as much content as possible. So that's what we do here at the LoudMouth MMA Podcast Network. Again, Not Safe for Work show, Not Safe for Work MMA show, sorry. I'm Kyle Steele, and joining me, Mr. Frederick Kirby. Hello, Fred.
Listen, Kyle, from the fucking end of the world, here we are, still pumping out the content for these lucky cocksuckers. And I'm going to tell you something right now. For everybody out there that gets if you fucking listen to this show and it still gets you triggered, you need to fucking reevaluate your life view, my friend. Because last I saw, we're all on the fucking brink of fucking extinction. Did I use that word properly? Is that the right word?
Yes. Wait, listen.
We're all going to be like the fucking dodo bird.
Looking at you across this screen and hearing you reference a dodo bird is a startling experience.
Listen. It's going to get even more startling as we go on, because I'm going to tell you something. We've actually got some shit to talk about, and I'm getting sick and tired of the fucking brutal disrespect that is being heaped upon my man John Jones.
Uh-oh.
Now, I don't know where we want to go. I don't know where we want to get to this, but this is fucking just disrespect that I am not going to take. And I'm going to tell you something. I got a great fucking, I don't know what the word for it is, analogy, comparison, metaphor, but I got some shit that I want fucking answers for once we get to that part of the show.
We have four main things to talk about today. Number one, the kind of weird airs surrounding UFC 249, whether it's going to happen, if it is going to happen, where is it going to happen, what fights are going to be on the card. So that's number one. Number two, of course, John Jones. Number three, we got to talk about our boy Mike Perry. You know we love Mike Perry around here on the Not Safe for Work MMA show. He provides great content, and this past week or so has not been any different. And then we got to talk about Ashlee Evans-Smith, which is weird, but I guess that's where we're at these days, is we're talking about Ashlee Evans-Smith, one of the more irrelevant fighters probably on the roster, but here we are. You know, that's when you have a quarantine, when you have a pandemic, when you have an apocalypse, that's when it's time to talk about Ashlee Evans-Smith. Let's try not to talk about before or after, but during, here we are, baby. This is where we're at. We won't start there. Maybe we'll pepper that guy in the middle. Do you want to start at John Jones, or do you want to start at 249?
Well, listen, I'm shot out of the cannon on both of them, so whichever fucking tickles your pickle. I got very fucking strong opinions on both of these.
Let's start at 249. Just that can lead to a more broad discussion about COVID, about the quarantine and kind of the state of things, so we can kind of really hit all that. So basically, Dana White is adamant that UFC 249 is going to take place at the regularly scheduled time at an undisclosed location, but nevertheless, it's gonna happen, right? He's really lashing out at the media here recently, more so than he ever has. I mean, Dana White has always been at odds with the media. I mean, look at the situation that happened with Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani is the biggest journalist in our sport, and he basically barred him from UFC events. He's definitely not a friend of the media. He's extremely close friends with Donald Trump, has been for a long time. And obviously, Donald Trump's relationship with the media. I think Dana White echoes that sentiment. His is just more geared towards MMA media. It doesn't seem like he likes them all that much. But recently, it's gotten worse during these kind of weird times. So what validity, Fred, do you give to Dana that this will actually happen? Give me a percentage chance.
Okay, quickly. Just want to address one thing. Ariel Helwani was being a fucking cunt. All right? He couldn't keep his big fucking yap shut. They told him about fights. They said, don't go fucking tell everybody. And the cute big-nosed prick went out and told everybody. Know who the fuck he thought he was. But of course, he got what was coming to him. I say that to say this. Usually, I'm in the minority, and I'm on DW's side. I enjoy his fucking arrogant, pricky attitude. I enjoy that he lies to the media. You got to do what you got to do to get by. It's a fucking nasty world out there. I don't get my feelings hurt very easily. Moving to this particular point in question, me and DW are on opposite. Your initial question was, what is my percentage that this happens? 249?
Yeah.
Fucking zero. Goose egger, baby. This newsflash, cocksuckers. And listen, save your fucking grievances. Of course, it should go without saying. We all want to see Tony Habib, and shut the fuck up with the voodoo witches. It's not cursed. Whole goddamn fucking planet is under a pandemic. Are we out of our fucking... Of course UFC 249 is not going to happen. I don't give a fuck if they say that it's happening in Abu Dhabi, fucking Russia, Florida. It ain't fucking happening nowhere. I quite frankly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think old fucking DW is starting to lose his shit a little, because ordinarily somebody would let it. This event's not happening. We all very much want it to, but the NBA shut down. Any sort of soccer is shut down. Major League Baseball is not starting up. I don't know who the fuck Dana White or us MMA fans think we are. No sporting event on planet Earth is happening right now. No. Tony Habib does not exempt the entire fucking planet's health. This shit is not happening, for sure.
The only difference is MMA. So, like, in order to play baseball, you got to have a baseball team. It's very, you can't play baseball with two people. You can't play basketball with two people. I mean, you can, but not in the NBA. Right. You can't play basketball with two people. You got a whole host of staff and whatever else. MMA is something that can take place between two people, and you can limit it to one corner man apiece. Like, you can, and then you have a ref, and then you have judges, and you can send them 6 feet apart. You can make this happen and not circumvent the rule. Oh, you hold on a second, Fred. You let me go. Daddy Kyle's turn, okay? You can circumvent this a little bit, because it isn't the same as baseball and football and basketball. It's not the same. It's different. Now, the issue is the two people who are then fighting each other, they don't know if they're carrying something. That's the whole issue with this virus. You can have it for several days and have absolutely no idea. So is it smart to have two people who don't know if they have a virus fucking spitting and bleeding on each other? No. So I think that's the issue, and that's why it at least shouldn't happen. The question is, will it happen? And again, MMA is different from all these other sports. So while you say 0%, I'm saying there's like a 20% chance. I think if 1 in 5 sounds about right to me. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is a bit of a different situation. There are things that they can put into place to limit the amount of people even further. If it does happen, I think it'll be just that fight. I don't think they'll put on a fight card. I think that fight is huge. The mystique surrounding it is now even more ridiculous because, you know, you joked about it being cursed, right? It's not cursed. I don't believe in that shit. It's not cursed. But it is just absurd that every time we try to have this stupid fucking fight, it doesn't happen. It's crazy. You know, and now it's not happening on a global scale. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this stupid fight? So there's so much mystique around it that they could just have that fight and charge people $20 and it would happen. So they could even have that fight on ESPN, make it free, like give ESPN some content because they might be like really wanting something. And then just prior to that fight, show old fights. Do like a 5-fight, you know, older fights or whatever, like some of the best fights to happen in the last 5 years. Put those on a card together, right? And then have that, you know, close it out. So I would say 20% chance. 20% chance.
Listen, I just told you why this motherfucker ain't gonna happen. The whole goddamn world's on lockdown. Newsflash to DW. We ain't that fucking special. Most of us might die, for Christ's sakes. We got bigger fish to fry, as the old saying goes. But now, let me tell you why it shouldn't happen. Okay?
Yeah, so that's a different discussion, right? I'm with you and probably a lot of other people. It shouldn't happen. Wait until this whole thing is done and make a normal card and put that on the end of it and just be done.
Listen, this fight is too big for us to be selfish and greedy about. Listen, here's a newsflash for everybody right from the jump street. It won't matter. If we have this fight, who they've been training with, how they've been training, how are they cutting weight, where are they at, and if you think for a fucking second and a half that whoever loses this fight will not lean on that, like, well, you know, listen, to be fair, I was fucking stuck in a basement for the last 3 weeks. We all thought Tony is fucking licking the walls crazy when we're all good. All real talk. Where the fuck is Tony's mind frame at right now that we're actually going through a global pandemic? I am as sane as they come. And I have days where I wake up like, holy shit, it's fucking Armageddon outside, Jack. Like, it's the fucking real deal Holyfield right here. I don't want Tony fighting fucking right now. All jokes aside, like, we should not force this fight. Whoever loses it is going to have the ultimate cop-out in the world. They couldn't train properly. They didn't have training partners. And I mean, what the fuck? It's probably true. Not probably the easiest time to cut weight. I mean, everybody's emotionally fucking distraught. This fight is not going to happen. But if by some chance they do make it happen, it's a travesty. They're ruining it. Like, look, man, all joking aside, not turning this into the COVID podcast, and trying to stay relatively positive, we're going to get through this. The economy is going to take a ball back to the knees, but we will survive. We'll come out the other side. It might be fucking August or September, but we'll make it. At that point, when we get back to motherfuckers flying internationally and moving around and the whole planet is not afraid to spend money or come out and do things, we're going to be dying for it. We're going to be dying for it online. We're going to be dying for it in person. It'll be the biggest thing in the world. Just give it some time, man. I mean, I've been seeing the memes going around and saying Kenny Rogers dying during the apocalypse is the most know when to fold them thing ever. God damn it, DW, we all got to just fold the cards for a few months. It's fucking is what it is.
Yeah, I agree with you on almost everything there. I mean, it shouldn't happen. Why create a weird asterisk with the fight that's this important? You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Wait until the time is right. Wait until we're past all this. Again, it might be a while. And if you're going to have fights at some point, fine. Just don't do this one.
Right. I agree.
This one needs to wait. You want to head an ESPN card with Ngannou and Rosenstruck or whatever? Have at it. what? I'm cool. Whatever, make it happen. Whatever you got to do, but like not this fight. Not this fight. Let's just have this fight. Not have a weird asterisk with it when we've waited this fucking long to make it happen in the first place. Let's just keep waiting. Why rush it? I'm with you, Fred.
And that's another thing. People are like, oh, man, it's been set up 5 different times. Exactly. So shut the fuck up. Eat your cake and chill. We've been waiting on this fight for 32 years. We got another 4 months. Has anybody never been to prison? This is how you do time. 1 day at a time. We've done 4 years waiting on this fight. We can do another 4 months easily.
Yes.
We'll be waiting for it even more. We'll be fucking foaming at the tits for it come September. And if we're all safe, if I can order my chicken wings and not be scared to death that I'm catching the fucking death herp, god damn, I'll love it even more. Who wants to watch the fight like this? Would I watch it? Of course. I'm a degenerate. But I'm fucking terrified in my room, afraid to go outside and breathe fresh oxygen. I'd much rather watch it from a post-apocalyptic world that's not fucking torn to shit.
By the way, if you think I'm not going to use foaming at the tits for the rest of this podcast and podcast beyond, you're out of your mind. That is being used.
Okay.
So, do you want to transition away from 249?
Yeah, I mean, listen, honestly, all bullshit aside, I don't think it's going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. We just went over it. That this fight is way too important to just cram in the middle of fucking the Ukraine somewhere. And then, God forbid, listen, God, I don't think this shit's a hoax. I don't think it's some sort of malarkey. I think it's serious, and I think you get sick. God forbid one of the fighters or one of the trainers or one of the doctors or fucking Dana White himself gets sick. It's all a big fucking joke until it happens to somebody you know. Everybody makes fun of Dana White. You imagine if the old prick catches the corona and dies on us? I got news for you fuckers. You don't want Scott Croker running the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of need him, man.
Yeah, for real. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right.
Yeah, for real. All right, so let's transition into John Jones, because you have an opinion about this, and I don't know I don't know the extent of your opinion, but just in listen, I don't know if you're on air or not, but just listening to your brief discussion about it, I am on polar opposite sides of you. So, give me your opinion on John Jones. I'm down to refresh everyone's memory. John Jones gets not pulled over. He was already pulled over. The police responding to a call, I believe, about a gun being fired, I guess, several times. They respond, pull up to the car. John Jones is inside. They get him out of the car. They notice, I guess, marijuana, little pieces that had dropped on his clothes or something. Gets out of the car, does a field sobriety, fails it miserably. You can actually go watch the video somewhere. John Jones, field sobriety. You can probably find it just on Google. Fails it miserably. Gives a bunch of weird excuses to why he's failing too, which was like he had ADD. That's why he was messing it up, and it was pretty wild. But anyway, they then search his car. Then they find an open container. He gets breathalyzed and is over 2 times the legal limit. So he gets, charged with aggravated DWI, which generally aggravated refers to, I don't know in this particular instance, but my guess is aggravated refers to the fact that he failed by so much is my guess. 2 times the legal limit probably is aggravated, or maybe because there was other crimes that could also make it aggravated. It just depends. Like felonious murder, for instance, is when someone dies during a felony. So even if it would be considered manslaughter, because you were committing a felony, it's now murder. It's called felonious murder. So I know that's in the state of Florida and in a couple other states as well. But anyway, my guess is aggravated DWI refers to the amount that he failed by. And obviously the possession of the gun as well, being drunk and having the gun. So he's in hot water. It's not as bad as people are saying. When I mean, people are like, his career is over. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not even close. I don't even know if his reputation even really took all that much of a hit. He gets a free pass on a lot of shit, so I don't know. I don't know if anybody even really cares. But anyway, I'm dying to hear your opinion of John Jones, Fred Kirby.
Listen, brilliant. Listen, the baddest man on earth is driving around, drinking a bottle of tequila, popping off rounds out of the fucking car during the worldwide fucking pandemic. It's fucking brilliant. Listen, it's John Jones. He's drinking and driving, smoking weed, and fucking shooting a gun out the window like Yosemite Sam out in Albuquerque. Is anybody surprised?
Yeah. That's the thing is, people are overreacting to what this means. It's like, did his reputation even take a hit? Like,
look, I'm not bullshitting you. His reputation is literally getting better for me at this point. This is him. I seen something about it's the anniversary of George St. Pierre fucking fighting who's the prick with the wolf heart? I want to call him Matt Hardy. What the fuck?
Who is this?
Dan Hardy. Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah. George St. Pierre beat Dan Hardy a month or Sundays ago. They posted the thing.
Matt Hardy was part of the Hardy
wrestler.
Boys. Yeah.
I always confuse those. And in that fight, George St. Pierre had him locked in a full-on arm bar for like a minute and a half, and he just couldn't break his fucking arm. And fucking Dan Hardy's a kickboxer. And I like to throw shots at George St. Pierre, so I reposted it and, with the hashtag, is this your king? You know what? John Jones is my fucking king, goddammit. That's what you do when you're the baddest man on earth. It's a pandemic. Guess who's not afraid? Johnny fucking Bones Jones. He's out there riding around drinking fucking whiskey and letting off his yisto out the car. And to be fair, on a more realistic level, as far as like charges and all this goes, I don't know how y'all's police are operating right now. We're literally letting people out of jail. And they are literally not arresting people for anything under a certain felony in our area right now.
Well, he already got arrested and charged. Now, he's not going to be in jail right now because there has to be a trial on that kind of shit. But it just looks like what he's been charged with is going to be next to impossible to get out of.
But it's going to get gotten out of when he gives some money. They're not. What are they going to do? It's a world. Let me tell you something, Albuquerque. Y'all are about to have bigger fish to fry. This shit is going to get swept under the rug. It probably would have got swept under the rug in a normal circumstance. During a worldwide pandemic, nobody gives a fuck that John Jones got caught drinking and driving with some weed. And as far as stripping is for his belts, boy, what a bunch of crybabies that obviously just don't like John Jones. I think we should take his belt and let Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos fight for it. Well, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let those two fucking pricks fight for the belt that he just beat. What, because he's fucking a bit of a live wire? And yes, I get it. Jesus fucking Christ. All the fucking snowflakes out there melting around the world. But John needs help. He clearly has an alcohol problem. Are you guys fucking late to the party? Apparently, judging from what Kobe Covington says, John Jones has been partying like a wild man since he's been in college. Last I checked, the fucking prick's in his 30s. Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes people are just fucking animals. John has all but told us that. He even said it in the interview with Ariel Helwani when he was saying that he was doing better. He was saying, listen, Ariel asked him, are you still smoking the pot, John? Are you still drinking? Motherfucking John said, listen, from time to time, I like to blow off some steam. Like, this is our king, man. This is what he does.
So the only issue that I have with John, twofold, okay? One, let me talk about the charge of a DWI. So that is a huge deal to me, and I think it's a huge deal to other people as well. Not that John got a DWI, but DWIs in the first place. It is not that, especially now, we live in an age where you can use your fucking cell phone, press a button on an app, and someone pulls up 6 feet away from you to drive you wherever you want to go. I mean, there is absolutely no excuse to drive while intoxicated. So and this isn't just John Jones, this is a PSA to everybody. If you drive drunk, you are one of the worst fucking people on this planet, because you are putting people's lives in danger for absolutely no reason. It's the most selfish, ridiculous thing that you can do outside of literally pulling out a gun and pulling the trigger on someone's fucking face. It's not as bad, obviously. It's not murder, but you are slowing down your reaction speed. You're inhibiting your vision. You're slowing your mind. You're doing all sorts of things to put yourself in a position where you driving becomes one of the most dangerous things that you can be doing. So if you drive drunk, fuck you. For real. Like, from the deepest parts of my heart, absolutely fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I hope you crash into a fucking tree. I can't stand people who drink and drive. It's ridiculous, especially in this goddamn time. It is so fucking easy to get a ride somewhere. For fuck's sake. Now, with that said, we're talking about, does this damage John Jones' reputation? No, it doesn't. If anything, I'm with you. It makes it better. The only thing I don't like about John Jones, quit being goddamn fake then. Just lean into this shit. Fuck it. He's always acting like he's like a poster child or some inspiration, and he's fucking not. Just quit. Quit fucking lying to yourself. Quit lying to everybody else. Lean into this shit. Colby Covington, this motherfucker. Just lean into whatever this shtick is. You're out firing your fucking gun in the air. Like, just do it. Lean into it.
The more I think about that, the more I think that he has and is. Listen, let me ask you a question. Do you think that John Jones believes in Jesus Christ?
No.
Realistically, you think he's an atheist? You think this is all an act? All bullshit aside.
So I don't know whether he's an atheist or not, but to the extent that he acts like he does, I absolutely not. I would say there's a fucking 1% chance.
I would say 99% of Christians are John Jones. I mean, let's fucking keep it a bean here. Most of the motherfuckers that are in church on Sunday are fucking fingering their little fucking niece on the side. A lot of people say they believe in Jesus and they do worse things than fucking John Jones.
Sure.
I think recently he's come out in interviews and been like, listen, I like to fucking party. I like to have fun. I'm young. I'm a bad motherfucker and I'm fucking wild. And I believe in fucking Jesus. I believe that some God bestowed these fucking great gifts upon. Look at me. I'm a fuck up. I cheat on my old lady. I do coke. And guess what? You know where it's got me in life? The fucking top, you cocksuckers. I've been doing blow since fucking college and ain't nobody beat me yet. Must be a God. Must be. I believe that he is a complex human like most of us. And this is him.
That's valid.
We just see all of it. It's very contradictory, but come on. If we had the microscope on us, I say a bunch of shit that I don't necessarily do. I know the right thing to say, but it's hard to do the right thing all the time.
On Twitter, though, he'll take the high ground on stuff and be like, you know what? I'm not going to respond. God bless you and your family. And it's like, that's not how he is. Listen. It's very fake. And I want to see John Jones truly lean into this shit. Pull a fucking Tony Ferguson where somebody genuinely asks you a question about your mental health and your response is, fuck you. Like, give me that John Jones.
I will give you that. He is a bit, he's a hypocrite. He's very hypocritical. He does do shit where, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest John Jones fan. I just feel like there's such a, he's undefeated. So he's that guy. He's the biggest guy at the lunch table and he's cocky and arrogant. So he's the guy that can fuck your girl, beat you up and brag about it. So I get why most people are like, God, fucking hate this guy. Wish somebody'd shut this guy up. The biggest fucking bully in the world. Please just shut this guy up. But let me ask you a question before we get off this John Jones thing. I was thinking about this the other day. This shit happens. Twitter explodes. He needs his belt stripped. He's got mental problems. He's the worst in the world. Biggest asterisks. But yet we all revere, adore, and love Mike Tyson. So now I ask you, as combat sports fans, how the fuck does everybody, I don't know, most of y'all might have been young, most of y'all might not remember some of the shit that Mike Tyson said and done.
First of all,
he literally went to prison for rape. Now I ain't saying he done it.
Of course he did.
He was fucking convicted. I'm just saying.
Yeah, of course he did.
But he was convicted and went to prison for rape.
He
bit a man's
ear off in the middle of a fucking ring on national television.
So I ask you, like, what is this thing? Like, does John Jones like to party way too much? Absolutely. Is he very irresponsible and a bit of a shitty moral human? Yeah. But, like, has he done kind of like half the shit that Tyson ever done? And you know, where's the disconnect?
Do you think that Tyson is getting a lot of shine, especially recently, because of how much he's changed? You know, like the interview he did. I don't know if you heard this, but it's gut-wrenching, where he's talking about, you know, how now he's like scared of himself. He's scared of that old version of himself, and he doesn't want to fight, and he doesn't want to do that. And he had this really gut-wrenching interview where he's like, and I feel like a bitch now. You know, I feel like a whatever. And it's like, he's like crying and stuff. And it was really like, oh shit, like Mike Tyson has really changed. Like, this is a different dude that you're talking to now than you did 10 years ago. And the problem with John Jones, right, is that he is 30. He isn't 50, where he's had time to process his entire life and become a different person. So, you know, we can revere Mike Tyson in the time of now, but I'll say I don't know if even 10 years ago, if Tyson was getting as much shit as John Jones does now. You know,
Tyson got shit from the mainstream community, but like, I don't remember the fight community. Like, he's always kind of been a god. He was a god beyond all those things for the most part. And I mean, I guess you could probably dispute that. I'm sure you can find articles where ESPN probably downed him or whatever, what have you. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting comparison.
No, it is.
Wow, John Jones he's really getting hammered, and there are fighters that have done way worse shit than this that we completely fear.
Do you think someone like John Jones will be a Tyson-esque character? Like, do you think when John Jones is 50 that he has completely mellowed out and is just helping the community? And like, do you think he'll be that type of person, or where do you think he'll be?
No, I think we all should just come to grips with this is how John Jones is. And quite frankly, like, all bullshit aside, I fuck with John Jones.
I don't think he's that bad.
Well, that's what
I mean, it's like,
I think he'll be just like this. Listen,
how many people? I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
For the rest of his career and probably life, this will be John Jones. Like, not to be a cunt, but like, will he always probably fuck around on his old lady? Probably. Will he always like to party unless he has like a heart attack or has something that forces him out of it? Like, clearly the dude likes to get fucked up and party.
How many people cheat on their husbands and wives?
A fucking lot.
How many people drive drunk? You know,
I've got when you were saying that earlier about the drunk drivers, I was going to ask you, not that I wanted to harp on the point, but it's like, you know, I'm sure you have somebody, you know, who's got a DUI who you know is not a piece of shit, who you're still a friend with.
Yeah. So my thing is, I have people in my life that have that. I had a guy that came to one of my little shindigs at my house, and he was trying to drive home, and I didn't know him. And he was just like a friend of a friend, and they all came over to watch UFC and shit. And he was acting like he was going to drive home. Like, hey man, I didn't realize you drove. You're not driving home. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, you're not good. Like, you're not driving home. If you want, I'll even pay for your Uber. I mean, if that's the issue, but you're not driving home. You're not leaving my house today with that. I didn't realize you drove yourself. If I'd have known that, I'd have helped you out and cut you off. But you're shit-faced. You're not getting in that fucking car and leaving my house. It's literally not happening. I will literally fight you. Like, it ain't happening. So, like, I put what I'm saying into fucking action. If one of my friends were to get a DWI right now, I would call them up. I'd send them a message. I'd do whatever. And I'd say, you're a fucking piece of shit. I hope you get better. I hope you get the help you need. I'm here for you, but fuck you. Like, I don't play with this. Like, I do not play with drinking and driving. That is like it is so fucking dangerous. Like, you have it's like literally one of the most dangerous things you could possibly do. And if it only affected the person, If every single person who drank and drove crashed into a tree, then it's whatever. But that isn't how it works. You're crashing into families. Like, you're crashing into old people. Like, that's what the fuck you're doing.
If I can just shoot my man John
Listen,
a little bit. Hold on.
Go ahead.
It's a fucking global pandemic. Getting in Ubers is not the sanitary
All right,
thing.
sure. Yeah.
Is it like women and kids and everybody's supposed to be off the road at like 8 o'clock these days? Doesn't it turn into Mad Max outside after that?
I know, right? It's like, if there's time to do it.
Bang, motherfuckers, it's time to go. It's time to party where the homeless people at. I know one of y'all got some crack.
Listen, if during this time we want to make it like, listen, starting at 9 o'clock, the only people allowed on the roads are people who are drunk and firing guns out the air. Then I'm cool with it, right? Because then you've been warned. You know what's happening. Like, if you're out driving and you're not one of those things, but that's on you, right? The problem, right, when people drive drunk is that we're not all playing by the same rules. So I'm pulling up to a stoplight. The light turns green. I'm going through the fucking green light because I'm playing by the rules of I'm not drunk. You're playing by the rules of you're drunk, and the red light looks fucking green to you, and you're smashing into the side of my car. Yeah, listen, if we're all playing by the same rules, you want to make fucking 9 o'clock Monday through Friday National Drunk Driving Time, then be my guest, right? But let's all play by the same rules.
Yeah, no, listen. All bullshit aside, you're right. That shit is really hella irresponsible. And I tell you what, it has gotten kind of bad. I don't know if you've noticed this, but just me driving around, people are fucking driving real fucking wild right now. They're driving fucking crazy. I tell you what bugs me big fucking time? And not a lot of shit bugs me, but you know what really fucking annoys me? And I'll be fair, it's not because of the fucking safety implication. It's very not safe. But it's a selfish reason. When somebody runs a red light, bugs the piss out of me. You know why? Yep. Because I can't run the fucking red light.
That's the thing. Let's all play by the same rules. You know?
I was going to the grocery store the other night, and this is the first time this has ever happened to me, probably because it's the fucking apocalypse outside, but I'm at a fucking light. It's red. 2 cars in front of me. One of them runs it. There he goes. I'll be a son of a bitch if the second fucking car didn't blow the red light too. So I pull up. I'm the third guy. Sitting there like a fucking jerk off with my thumb thinking, should I run the fucking light? Do rules even apply anymore? No, I fucking waited at the light, but I'm thinking, you cocksuckers, you got to wait too.
Yeah.
The fuck, it's a red light. We all got to play by the same rules.
That's what makes a society function. Is we all have to play by the same fucking rules.
To wrap up this John Jones thing.
Yeah.
No, man. I don't think it's a big deal. All bullshit aside, I think it happening in the middle of a pandemic does kind of put it low on the scale of shit that people really give a fuck about right now. I think they're going to, he's not going to jail. They're literally putting people out of jail. Like, you have to really fuck up pretty bad to be taken to jail right now, because what if you got the Ronies? I mean, this is something we really do have to take seriously. Yeah. John will get by just fine with this. And as far as stripping his belts go, honestly, he couldn't have picked a better time. What else are we all doing? Newsflash, motherfuckers, we ain't fighting in April. June, July at best before we can fight. This ain't going to matter in June or July. He's a fuck up, but he couldn't have picked a better time. For all of me, this don't do shit to John Jones, his career.
It's funny. I remember initially thinking, because I'm with you now, I actually think it was the best time. When it initially happened, my opinion was, man, this is the worst time. We have nothing else to fucking talk about. This is all we're going to talk about for fucking the next year. And then, of course, the next couple months. And then all this other shit's happened. So it's like, oh, we're getting distracted.
If he had raped a woman,
that's a different story.
If he had beat the shit out of his girlfriend or something, then yeah, we would be harping on this and it'd be like, ooh.
Or he gets into a DWI crash where he injures or kills someone. Right. Again, now we're having a very, very different conversation. He wasn't even driving when the cops pulled up. So it's a different situation.
And so that's probably the better point for all this. In a more realistic situation, John needs for that to not happen. Quite frankly, this happening, yeah, I'm a fucking degenerate. Part of me's like, hey, it's what he does.
Or he needs for that to happen. Depending on how you want to look at it.
Like, I want to see him back in the cage. I want to see him at heavyweight. John, take your funny ass to the house. Get you a nice big batch of Coke. I'm sure you got a cool basement. Set up the fucking Wi-Fi, play the video games, watch the porn. Now, all kinds of snow bunnies online.
When he crashed into the pregnant woman, wasn't he all fucked up then?
Well, of course he was.
Did he ever get did he get a like DWI at all, or?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, John Jones probably shouldn't have a license ever.
Well, I'm
Probably
interested.
never get
I'm truly am interested because it's like that's the other problem. Like, man, like if you're a repeat fucking drunk driver, man, I mean, you are just like in my book. The first time you get a DWI, it should be mandated. You get a year in jail, flat out. That's just what happens. You get caught drinking and driving, as long as they can prove it and they did everything the correct way, you get a mandatory year in prison. If you get a second one, you're looking at 5 years minimum. You get a third one, bitch, that's 20 years. Like, for me, like, if you made the punishment, this is a whole different podcast, but if you made the punishment for DWIs, right now it is a slap on the fucking wrist, dude. It just is. And it's one of the most fucking dangerous things you could possibly do. It would be like if right now somebody stood in a parking lot and put a blindfold on and just start firing a gun around in a circle, right? They would get in an immense amount of trouble. I would argue that drinking and driving is more dangerous than that. Yet the punishment doesn't match the crime. Like, we have to make DWI, it's a whole different podcast. We have got to make DWI punishment actually mean something. And once that happens, people will stop doing it. But it's like, there's just no fucking excuse, man. And all these major holidays, you can literally get free cabs. Free cabs. You pay nothing. They come pick you up and they take you where you want to go. They pick you back up and they get you back home for fucking free or next to free.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yet, though, that's when everyone's drinking and driving and smashing into shit and fucking killing each other. It's crazy. It's a crazy world. I'm telling you right now, Fred, I'm going to die. This is how I'm going to die. Some dumb fucking prick is going to smash into me on some country fucking road. I'm telling you, that's how I go because I have this staunch of an opinion.
Yeah, I know you're fucking manifesting it with all this
I
shit.
know, man. That's how I'm going to fucking go. Some dipshit is going to fucking crash into me, and that's how I'm going.
Just to give this the fucking a little bit of breath that it might need, it is strange how many people do it. I mean, doctors, lawyers, police officers.
Yeah,
a lot of fucking people drink and drive, boy. A lot of people make that fucking mistake. So, yeah, I agree with you. I don't know about the whole fucking the gun, the Russian roulette thing. It might not be quite that dangerous, but it's fucking dangerous and it needs to be taken seriously.
Let's get to Ashlee Evans-Smith, okay? Let's get to Ashlee Evans-Smith. So, she goes to pick up a dresser. I don't know the exact circumstances surrounding the dresser. I don't know if she was picking it up because it was free or she had lent it. I don't remember the story.
I do. Her neighbor was giving her the dresser.
Okay, got it. So she goes over there. She picks up the dresser. While the husband is there, or boyfriend or whatever it is, he walks back up after they put the dresser in the truck or whatever, SUV or whatever it was. He walks back over to the porch. He grabs a box of medical supplies. So the lady who owned the house had been giving away medical supplies to people. And it was like a come grab whatever you need and whatever. So he just picks up the box of medical supplies. Here's what's crazy. Ashlee Evans-Smith then goes on a media tour where she admits to doing it without admitting to doing it over and over again. And all of her explanations don't make any sense. I don't understand. I don't understand. And there's video evidence of it, too, which is even crazier. There's not video evidence. I don't know if you saw that, but it was recorded on a ring. He fucking walked up, he looked at the box, grabbed it, and left. I mean, it's like, you fucking took it. There is absolutely, like, her argument was that, we thought it was also free. You were there to pick up a dress. When was the last time? You ever gone to like, buy something on Craigslist or Facebook, Fred? Yeah, you ever bought anything from anybody on like, one of those websites? You ever bought in, like, okay. Yeah. When you went there to go pick it up, did you just randomly take something else that was also on the porch?
Yeah, no.
That argument makes no sense. There is there is no way to dress that up. And it's like if I walk up and I buy whatever and you have a house plant on your porch, I don't go, I guess I get that too. Like, that is, how does it work that way?
And see, and here's the deal. I'm the type of cute cocksucker that's willing to even give you that benefit of the doubt. I think humans are fucking stupid, by and large. We're a bunch of fucking dummies. There's a few real smart ones, whole bunch of fucking dummies. Fair enough. You grab the box. Now, when we get in the car, or at worst, let's say, the moment we get home, we open up that mystery box because we're surprised. We're curious. Probably open it up in the car.
The box was open. You could see what was in the box.
Okay, then stop right in the car.
Yeah.
During a fucking worldwide pandemic, if when I get in the car, I see that the extra box had a bunch of fucking masks and needles and fucking pills and shit in it, at that point, even a dummy is going to assume, oh, this isn't for us.
So it had masks, gloves, Lysol, hand sanitizer, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
that's clearly not for
Clearly it's not for you, unless you specifically said, it doesn't make sense in a normal time. Take away the quarantine, take away whatever is going on. It doesn't make sense in that time to grab that box. It makes even less sense in this time. Clearly, those supplies are either for the person who lives there or for somebody else. Clearly, They're not for fucking you.
Right. I mean, even if you're a dummy, it's like, okay, well, maybe they put this pledge here for me to take a pledge thing and wipe this motherfucker down before I put it in my car. I don't assume the supplies are for me under no fucking pretext.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucking goofy stoner. I can't, there's no, you're being, and what a cunt, right? Like,
seriously.
What are you guys going to do? Fucking keep the gloves or sell them on eBay? Like, what a fucking, let me tell you something, man. Right now, if you're trying to profit, and look, we all trying to get money, baby. I ain't hating on you for that. If you invent a hand sanitizer where you can get a little bread, but you can still offer it cheap to your community, then that's how you do things right now. I'm not hating on nobody getting money.
Or just be reasonable. If you want to buy a pack of hand sanitizer that's $1 a pop and resell it to people for $3 and make yourself some money, okay, cool. Like, don't fucking buy that and sell it for 10. Like, fuck off.
Or don't go to your local fucking, Family Dollar
and buy
all their fucking toilet paper. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. That doesn't make you an entrepreneur. It makes you a fucking shitbird.
That is
fucking, a moral vulture. What the fuck? Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Those are my golf claps.
For you to get no fucking money, man, and you're still in fucking medical spot. Boy, I don't even believe in God, but if there was one, you should be smited for that goddamn shit.
As someone who is literally an entrepreneur, I am a self-employed entrepreneur. I do not have a job, at least not one I consider a job. You know what I mean? Sure. You are not a fucking entrepreneur because you're taking advantage of a pandemic. An entrepreneur goes to Dollar Tree and buys their socks and their cool socks with the cool prints on them, like dress socks, and then resells them for $5 a pop on eBay. That's what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur does not go into this is the only pandemic that's happened in our lifetime where you had these kind of repercussions. Goes and buys up toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and Lysol, and then tries to flip them for $20 a pop. You're not being an entrepreneur. You're being an asshole. Like, I think that's literally what you just said, and you're so fucking right.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. What the fuck? You're not fucking helping nothing, man. That point,
I was about to say that's you. I was like, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, is that me? Who is that?
Jesus Christ. You're not helping nothing at that point, man. You're just adding to the fucking problem.
Yeah, exactly. You're not don't be a fucking asshole. Like, come on, guys. Like, how hard is this? How hard is it to just be a human right now? Just be a fucking human. I don't care. See, I'm not religious. I think most people know that. I'm not a religious guy. You're not either. But you and I are both what I would say are probably humanist. Like, I don't need a religion to tell me if my friend needs money, I'm going to give him money. If I got people that need toilet paper, I'm going to give them toilet paper. If people need Lysol, I'm going to give them Lysol. Like, just be a human. It doesn't matter what you believe. Doesn't matter what your religion is, whatever else. Just be a fucking human right now. Like, this shit sucks. Let's not make it suck worse.
Yeah,
right?
No,
That's simple.
Exactly. Especially during times like this. Like, ordinarily, the most of you can fucking drown. It's a fucking dog-eat-dog world. But right now, Jesus fucking Christ, it sounds like some cliche, typical movie bullshit, but it's true. Right now, we need each other more than ever. This is the first time on fucking Earth that I've ever fucking seen the world need something collectively. Everybody, every fucking country, every fucking city, we all have a dog in this fight. So this is the most unique thing that more than fucking likely any of us or our kids or our grandkids will ever go through. It's very fucking
hopefully.
important.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. It's very fucking important. Well, hell, even if it is blown out of proportion, even if it's not as serious as they say it is, it was still serious enough to bring the world's economy to a screeching halt for whatever, 2-3 weeks and counting.
That doesn't happen on accident. Yeah,
exactly. It's already a big fucking deal. You do not want to be the twat that gets caught stealing fucking face masks during this time.
Yeah.
Don't be a dumb man.
Because that's the problem. Regardless of whatever her rationale is, maybe she thinks she's right. I highly doubt it. I think she's just lying. But maybe she thinks she's right. I don't know. Regardless, just fuck you. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It makes no sense. Unless someone, because to my knowledge, she has never said that someone told her she could. She just said she assumed or something. Which, again, if you're not lying, then you're just really, 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 really dumb and selfish. So either way, it's not a good look. Either you're lying and you're a piece of shit, or you're not lying and you're a piece of shit. It's like, I don't know, like, it doesn't really matter. No matter which direction you go with it, you're a piece of shit. Like, whether you're lying or not lying, it's irrelevant. So either it's way. Like, I hope that people do not forget this. Because, like, seriously, fuck that. And I really hope people don't forget it. I think people were trying to minimize it and saying, like, oh, like, look how much shit Ashlee Evans Smith got, and then John Jones is just getting applauded by people.
Good.
Yeah, yes and no, but it's just it's a very different situation. Like, one is someone doing dipshit things that people do year round, drinking and driving, firing a gun into the air. Like, this is dipshit things that people do all year round. I don't know about the second part. Ashlee Evans Smith did something that is so specific to, like, this time that we're in. It just makes it so much worse, just simply because, like, it's such a bizarre time. And, like, why would you take advantage of that bizarre time?
For all of me, they're not even close. You make very good points about the drinking and driving thing. That is serious, and it can literally lead to the loss of lives. So that's important. But fuck, man. Short of that, dude, John Jones is doing the same thing that he's been doing since he was in college, the same thing that tons of other fucking stupid men and women do across this country all the time when there's not a worldwide pandemic and we're not all shitting our pants. To give Johnny Bones Jones a little bit of credit, fuck, man, he's probably a little scared too. Like, real talk. I know people out there are shitting their pants right now. Oh my God, he's such a John Jones sympathizer. Hey, look, man. He's got little kids, too. This is a real thing. He's probably fucking freaking out. And how does John Jones handle freaking out? He gets fucked up. Join the fucking crew, John Jones. But you know what he didn't do? You know what he's not accused of? Is stealing fucking medical supplies that fucking people need. Doctors and nurses. John Jones is a wild animal, and quite frankly, I'm fucking here for it. What are we a fan of? Lacrosse or fucking mixed martial arts? But Ashlee Evans Smith stealing fucking essential items in the middle of a fucking literal worldwide crisis and pandemic for the doctors and nurses and sick people. Boy, that makes you the scum of the fucking earth. Like, they're not even comparable. Fuck Ashlee Evans. Not to mention, she's nowhere near the fighter John Jones is. John Jones is a once-in-a-lifetime fucking talent. That gives you special rules. God damn it, he's allowed to.
Hey, listen, I don't want to agree, but I agree. Let's end the show on Mike Perry. It's a really quick story anyway, so there wasn't a need to spend too much time on it. So Mike Perry, I assume drunk, is I assume outside of a bar. I don't exactly know where he was. Definitely outdoors, crowd of people around, and he's with his on again, off again girlfriend or fiance or whatever the hell she is at this point, corner man. He is squaring up against somebody who's like talking shit, who's just kind of looking at him. Mike Perry's like all slunk down, fist out, kind of bobbing and weaving and bobbing and weaving. The other guy doesn't even have his fist up. He's just bobbing and weaving and bobbing and weaving. All of a sudden, just bink, just lays him out. One punch, boom, we're done. And the way we find out about this is not TMZ, right? TMZ didn't pick this up. It wasn't some bystander that just so happened to snap the video, right? We found out because Mike Perry posted the goddamn video to his Instagram, which is the most Mike Perry thing you could possibly do. You're out here knocking out a civilian as an MMA fighter, a guy that's not even squaring up with you, and you just fucking cold cock him and knock him out, and you post the shit to your own fucking Instagram. It's so Mike Perry. What else would Mike Perry do?
Listen, this is why you need me on the show, Cobb, because, hey, you be trying to paint one in the pictures. First off, it's a fucking known fact that said gentleman punched Mike Perry before the video started rolling. So he socks Mike Perry. Mike Perry, in turn, circles around his girl, gets low, and throws a nice little fucking step-in leaning hook and lays the said gentleman out. For all of me,
I have no problem with it. I don't give a shit. It's just why, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But why post the fucking thing to Instagram?
And I tell you what, I fucking commit and that's why I like Mike Perry. Mike Perry truly does not give a fuck.
It's true.
And listen, all bullshit aside, he probably really did get hit first with witnesses. Because listen, is he in jail yet?
Yeah.
For felonious assault?
It's true.
So he probably really did get hit first. And like, all right, motherfucker, roll the camera. Back. That's what happens when you hit a UFC fighter out in public, you fucking boy. Probably going, you lost your last 3 fights, buddy. What's up with it? I fucking boxed gold gloves. Mike Perry was probably like, wow. That's what you get for being a fucking dummy. Now, I also thought this was an old video. Was this fucking recently?
Okay, it could be an old video.
Okay.
It could be an old video.
My only problem with it is
it was posted recently, but it could be an old video.
Okay. My only problem with it was like, God damn, Florida is wild as fuck. These motherfuckers for real ain't putting nobody away. The motherfucking whole world's on fire and they're out here fucking getting in bar fights.
Right. All right, that was the last thing we have to talk about here. Anything else you would like to say before signing off?
Just quickly. How are you spending your quarantine? Like, we're all going to be quarantined. Newsflash, I don't want to turn it into COVID podcast, but we're going to be here for a while, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, if you had to give a recommendation to our listeners, other than listening to the LoudMouth Network and getting all your MMA needs while we're all fucking recessed from that, what else are you doing to keep yourself occupied so you don't lose your fucking mind?
So at this point, I'm still doing. We're going to record the movie podcast next week remotely. You and I will keep recording remotely. I think we're gonna kick off the Last One Standing tomorrow. I'm pretty sure, so that'll go up. So I'll be doing some podcasting, basically. Watching movies. I'm still working. I'm considered an essential employee, or I'm considered an essential whatever. I'm a real estate agent. And there are people that they need to fucking move, for one reason or another. So my job doesn't stop just because the world stops. And there are people that still have their jobs and they have leases and they have whatever. And, they're trying to get a house. So, right now I have probably 5 or 6 things under contract. It's definitely not nearly as busy as a normal March would be, but,
sure.
It is what it is. We all have to take a hit during these times. But yeah, I'm still working. I'm still trying to lead prospect. I'm still... I have 3 kids and a wife. My wife is a director at a food bank, so her shit's more important than ever. They're actually serving more people than normal, so which I guess isn't a surprise. But
right.
But yeah, so it's my life. My life really hasn't changed all that much, other than I'm just not really leaving the house, and I'm and people aren't really coming over. I had a buddy come over last night, but. My life hasn't really changed all that much. I just can't leave the fucking house. and I can't have a bunch of people over, and I am such a social creature, so this is super hard on me. It's probably harder on me than it is for most people. I'm so extroverted. I need people around me.
Okay. Well, listen, I have been spending a lot more time at the fucking house around my kids than the most of it. So, and I'm a fucking moron. I don't read, but again, like I was saying before we went live, I read quite well. I just can't paint the pictures right. I'm not a reader. I don't read fucking books. So, couple of quick recommendations. I did watch The Outsider on HBO. I cannot fucking say enough good things about that. That is a great way to spend 10 hours. I'm 6 episodes in on The Watchmen that is also on HBO. I don't give a shit about comic books, and this fucking thing is brilliant, amazing. It's fucking great. And Childish Gambino and The Weeknd both just dropped new records. So there you go.
Yep.
Some fucking music and some film to watch and keep yourself entertained until the next LoudMouth drop.
The Tiger documentary was fantastic.
I need to watch that.
I would definitely watch it. Get through the first 2 episodes to really kind of get cruising. But what episodes 3 through 7 or whatever, it's just ridiculous. If you've never seen The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, it's not on Netflix, but you can probably find it somewhere or buy it. Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. It's the original Tiger King. It's not about the Tiger King, but it's about the white family in Boone County, Virginia, or something. And West Virginia, and you need to watch it. If you like the Tiger documentary, you will love The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. What else? I watched Harold and Kumar go to White Castle last night.
That's always a good one.
It holds up, man. There's a lot of really dumb jokes, like what the fuck. But if you get past that piece of it, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It holds up. So yeah, Netflix has a bunch of good shit right now, and they also just put Outbreak on Netflix. So if you want some good quarantine fun, go watch Outbreak.
I most certainly will not. I'll watch nothing of the sort. I'll watch that once we're done with this shit. Then I can watch that bullshit. Right now, no fucking way.
All right, Fred. It was a pleasure, my friend. I will see you next week.
You got it, brother.